Hello, Relationship Revelation Facts family. I'm your host, Zayden. Today, we're examining a topic that's been deeply ingrained in our minds since childhood. Happily ever after. Yes, we're talking about that phrase that's been the final line of countless fairy tales, the promise of endless bliss and joy with the one you love. But let's take a step back and think about it. Is happily ever after a realistic expectation or a myth we've been led to believe by romantic narratives? And how does it affect our real-life relationships? In this video, we're going to explore these questions. We'll delve into the history and origins of this concept, discuss the importance of love and communication, tackle the tricky issue of conflict management, and emphasize the significance of self-care and independence. So are you ready to debunk some myths and explore how to set realistic expectations in your love life? Let's dive in. We've all grown up with fairy tales that end with happily ever after, but real-life relationships are far from fairy tales. Picture this. You're on a quest, battling dragons, overcoming adversity, and finally you find the one. Your heart soars, the music swells, and then they lived happily ever after. But what happens after the storybook closes? In reality, that's when the real journey begins. The first myth we need to debunk is this notion of finding the one and everything being perfect. The truth is, there's no such thing as a perfect person or a perfect relationship. Everyone has their quirks, their flaws. Relationships involve two distinct individuals, each with their own complexities. And it's in navigating these complexities together that we find real growth and connection. But where did this idea of happily ever after even come from? The concept dates back centuries, deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness through folklore and tales. It served as the grand finale of countless stories, painting a picture of a flawless, perpetual bliss. But it's essential to remember that these are just stories, carefully curated narratives that don't include the everyday trials and tribulations of a real relationship. In the real world, happily ever after doesn't mean a life without challenges. It means choosing to face those challenges together, to learn, to grow, to compromise. It means understanding that there will be highs and lows, moments of joy and moments of struggle. And it's in these moments, the good and the bad, that true love is forged. So let's leave the fairy tales where they belong, in the realm of fantasy, and embrace the reality of relationships. They're messy, they're complicated, they're sometimes hard work, but they're also beautiful, rewarding, and profoundly human. Remember, perfection is a myth. Relationships are about growth, understanding, and compromise. They're about two people, with all their imperfections, choosing to write their own happily ever after, one real, authentic moment at a time. Let's talk about love, not as a constant state of euphoria, but as a journey that demands effort and communication. Love is not just about the butterflies in your stomach or the heart-skipping moments. It's about weathering the storms together, navigating through the highs and lows, and coming out stronger on the other side. Love, in its truest form, is about understanding and communication. Now, why is communication so crucial in a relationship? Well, it's simple. Communication is the bridge that connects two individuals. It's the lifeline that keeps a relationship vibrant and healthy. It's through communication that you express your feelings, your desires, your fears, and your dreams. It's how you get to know your partner and how your partner gets to know you. But effective communication is more than just talking. It's about listening, understanding, and responding. It's about being present in the conversation, showing empathy, and validating your partner's feelings. It's about being open and honest, even when the truth is hard to say or hear. So how can we improve our communication in relationships? Here are a few practical tips. Firstly, practice active listening. This means giving your full attention to your partner when they're speaking, showing interest in what they're saying, and responding thoughtfully. Secondly, express your feelings openly and honestly. Don't hide your emotions or bottle them up. If something is bothering you, talk about it. If you're happy, share that happiness. Thirdly, use I statements instead of you statements. Instead of saying, "You never listen to me," say, "I feel unheard when I talk to you." This reduces blame and encourages a more constructive conversation. Finally, remember that it's okay to take a break. If a discussion is getting heated, take a moment to cool down before continuing. This can prevent arguments from escalating and help you communicate more effectively. So, open those communication lines because they're the lifeline of your relationship. Remember, love is a journey, and communication is the compass that guides you through. No relationship is free from disagreements and conflicts. It's how we handle them that matters. Indeed, conflicts are an integral part of any relationship, but when managed correctly, they can actually be an opportunity for growth and understanding. So, how do we navigate disagreements? Let's delve into 3 key strategies: active listening, compromise, and empathy. First, let's talk about active listening. Active listening is more than just hearing what the other person is saying. It's about being fully engaged, showing genuine interest and seeking to understand the other person's viewpoint. It involves responding appropriately and providing feedback that the other person's words have been understood. It's about making the speaker feel valued and heard. Next, we move on to compromise. Compromise is often seen as a sign of weakness, but in reality it's a sign of strength. It's about finding a middle ground that respects and values both parties' perspectives. Compromise isn't about winning or losing. It's about finding a solution that everyone can live with. It's about putting the relationship above personal ego. And finally, we have empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. It's about putting yourself in the other person's shoes and seeing things from their perspective. Empathy helps us to build deeper connections and fosters a sense of mutual respect. Remember, the goal isn't to avoid conflict, but to manage it effectively. It's about turning disagreements into opportunities for learning and growth. It's about understanding that every conflict is a chance to better understand your partner and to deepen your relationship. In conclusion, conflicts are inevitable in any relationship. However, with active listening, compromise, and empathy, we can navigate these disagreements in a way that strengthens our bond with our partners. It's not about who's right or wrong, but about understanding and respecting each other's viewpoints. Navigate conflicts with understanding and empathy, and watch your relationship bloom. A key aspect of setting realistic expectations is maintaining your own identity and practicing self-care. It's easy to lose oneself in the whirlwind of love and companionship, but remember, you're an individual first. I recall a time when I was so engrossed in my relationship that I forgot to nurture my own interests. I realized that I was becoming less of myself, which was neither healthy for me nor my relationship. In another instance, I ensured to carve out me time to indulge in my hobbies, hang out with my friends, or simply do nothing. This not only rejuvenated me, but also brought a fresh perspective to my relationship. It's like they say, you cannot pour from an empty cup. It's essential to fill your cup first. Independence in a relationship doesn't mean detachment. It means respecting and valuing each other's individuality while being together. Never forget, a healthy relationship involves 2 healthy individuals. Finally, let's discuss how relationships evolve over time and why it's crucial to embrace change and growth. Many of us hold on to the notion that love should be constant, but the truth is, love evolves. And so do we. The love you feel at the beginning of a relationship may look different years down the line, and that's okay. I've consulted with relationship experts who have shed light on this matter. They stress the importance of understanding that the dynamics of a long-term relationship are ever-changing. As we grow individually, our relationships need to adapt and grow with us. This might mean redefining what love looks like, learning new ways to communicate, or setting fresh boundaries. So next time you find yourself in a relationship that feels different from what it once was, don't panic. Embrace change, grow together, and remember, relationships are ever-evolving journeys. So there you have it, the happily ever after myth debunked. We've journeyed through the fairy tale illusion, reminding ourselves that real-life relationships are far from those perfect tales we grew up with. We've emphasized the importance of love and communication, and how they serve as the cornerstone of any relationship. We've navigated through conflict management, understanding that disagreements are inevitable, but it's how we handle them that truly matters. We've also stressed the significance of self-care and independence, recognizing that maintaining our individual identities enriches our relationships. And finally, we've embraced the fact that relationships are evolving journeys, constantly changing and growing. If this conversation has resonated with you, hit the like button and share your thoughts in the comments section. We'd love to hear your experiences and insights. Don't forget to subscribe for more relationship revelations and insights. Until next time, stay realistic, stay loving, and stay connected. Before we end this enlightening journey, let's take a moment to revisit the key points we've discussed. Remember, the happily ever after myth is just that. A myth. Real-life relationships are not fairy tales but are beautiful in their own unique, imperfect ways. Love and communication are the bedrock of a successful relationship, but they must be coupled with effective conflict management. Disagreements are not the end of the world, it's how we handle them that defines us and our relationships. Self-care and independence are not selfish acts, but necessary ones, as they allow us to maintain our individual identities while contributing positively to our relationships. And finally, remember that relationships are evolving journeys, filled with changes and growth. Embrace these changes, for they are what makes your relationship unique and special. We hope you found value in this discussion and that you'll carry these insights into your own relationships. Remember, it's not about the happily ever after, but about the journey you take together. Stay realistic, stay loving, and stay connected.